Well, good afternoon again. Come on Tuesday now. Don't take long, do it? Hope everybody's all right. And say, keep safe. Keep safe. I don't watch much of the news much now, but depressing, isn't it? I'd rather got my allotment really and do a little bit. But there we are. Now I'm going to do something, different today. I'm doing a poem that a lady sent me, a lady called Margaret Laurie, and she asked would I read it out. Of course I will. And I said I would. If anybody's got any stories or any poems they want to read out, then I'll gladly do it. I said I want to keep going if I can till at least the end of August. The way things are going at the moment, a few people giving comments are coming from all over. I've done now from out in Greece and out in Europe and everywhere, in New Zealand. They just keep coming and coming, which is lovely. So while I'm able to find some stories and some poems, I'll do them anyhow. All right, well, I don't know who this one is by, but it's called Tom Gray's Dream. Tom Gray lay down on the barroom floor, having drunk so much he could drink no more. So he fell asleep with a troubled brain, to dream as he rode the hell-bound train. The engine with blood was red and damp, and brilliantly lit with a brimstone lamp. An imp for coal was shovelling bones, while the furnace rang with endless groans. The boiler was filled with lager and beer, and the devil himself was the engineer. The passengers made a motley crew, church member, atheist, genteel and Jew, rich men in broadcloths, beggars in rags, handsome young ladies and withered old hags, yellow men, black men, red, brown and white, and chained together, a horrible sight. While rain dashed on at an awful pace, and a hot wind scoured their hands and face. Wilder and wilder the country grew, as faster and faster the engine flew. Louder and louder the thunder crashed, brighter and brighter the lightning flashed. Hotter and hotter the air became, till the clothes were burnt from each quivering frame. And in the distance there raised a yell, "Aha!" croaked the devil, "we're heading for hell." Then, oh, how the passengers shrieked with pain and begged the devil to stop the train. But he capered about and sang with glee and laughed and joked at their agony. "My faithful friends, you have done my work, and the devil can never a payday shirk. You have bullied the weak, you have robbed the poor, and the starving brother you turned from the door. You have laid up gold with a canker rust, and gave free vent to your fleshly lusts. You have justice scorned and corruption sown, so the devil himself must claim his own. You have drunk and rioted, murdered and lied, and mocked at God in your hell-born pride. You have paid full fare, so will carry you through, for it is only right that you get your just due. The labourer always expects his hire, so I will land you safe in my lake of fire, where your flesh shall roast in the flames that roar, and my imps torment you for evermore. When Tom awoke with an awful cry, his clothes were soaked and his hair was high. He prayed as he never prayed until that hour, to be saved from the drink and the devil's power. And his vows and prayers were not made in vain, for he disembarked from that hell-bound train. On a lighter note now, we'll thank you very much to Margaret. Thank you. This is another little poem now. Mother's pastas à la vino were nothing but the best. Full of turnips, tetas and some beef, they were far better than the rest. We took them down the weir for tea, we took them up Trencrome. By train we took them to Penzance, to eat upon the prom. Pollard's coaches took the weight on chapel trips to Loo, loaded down with saffron buns, and mother's pastas too. I'd take one down the station, feyther had to have his tea. I never used to mind at all, there'd be a corner left for me. We ate them when we went to school, we ate them through the war. They kept us going when times were tough. We couldn't have asked for more. If I could turn the clock back years, now wouldn't that be grand? Once more I'd sit on Hale Beach with mother's pasty in my hand. Thanks again.